But also, too, if you guys haven't checked out, go check out Mo Mula. Shout out my boy. He's funny as hell. But go check out that podcast. But right now, we have Eddy right now who's trending in Chicago, the city of Chicago. And shout out Hove, because we're right now in Exotic Diamonds, the best jeweler, the best diamonds, the best Rolexes,
Stamped.
the best beard. But
wait a second. My beard's not too
you're
bad.
close second. Oh, you're kind of competing with
I'm
men.
with second to Hove. It's all right, dude.
But it's still a good beard, regardless of that. We are here with Eddy, which I actually, dude, I think the first thing I saw from you or heard from you is, I think voice. It's on TikTok. It was trending.
Sound of War.
Sound of War. Yeah. Like, how did it even happen? How's it about?
I don't even know how it happened, to be honest with you. It was just kind of crazy how the whole thing came about. Honestly, it was just my buddy was Sam El-Jundi Batata, who was on the song with me. He came into Texas, and we kind of just were hanging out. None of this was pre-planned whatsoever. So we were kind of just hanging out in my backyard, and we're going through each other's phones. I'm going through mine, he's going through his. It's silent. We're just hanging out, just me and boys, you know? And I'm scrolling through mine. All you hear is bombs and terror and all these things coming from my phone. Same thing from his. And we kind of put our phones down at the same time. We kind of just looked at each other, and we're like, let's do something for Palestine. And he shot up and went right into the studio. We just went in there and just out of nowhere made the song. And that's how it kind of came about. And then it went forward from there.
So let's rewind a little bit. So did you do music prior to that?
Yes.
Okay. How long have you been doing it, though?
So I was like 12 years old. I wasn't putting out music at 12 years old because I was terrible.
Okay.
That's the difference. But I put it out at like 20 years old because even at a young age, I understood that I wasn't good at what I did. I was still learning. So the thing is if you put something out early and you're not very, seasoned, it's not going to give people the credibility to want to listen to you later because first appearance, first sound is everything. You know what I mean? So I knew that I needed to perfect my craft before I put out anything.
So are you a native Chicagoan or?
No, Detroit.
Detroit.
Yeah, right across, the lake. It's all right.
You're
Same way. I understand. I get it. It's the same thing,
one of those, yeah.
Yeah.
No. But okay, so with Detroit coming up, making music at 12 years old, what made you actually perfection the craft to make you actually be a voice, be someone in your community?
What led me to
What's
that?
the passion? Yeah.
Honestly, the thing was I was making music. I was putting out. I'm 29 now.
29.
Thank God for In Your 20s podcast. You guys caught me at a perfect time. We've only got 3 more months left of this. All right.
All right.
So honestly, it's kind of a sad story, but I was putting out really good music for 9 years. And this is for all the artists out there. I want you guys to really tap into what I'm saying here. I was putting out top tier music for 9 years. And yeah, I was doing well, right? But you never really just get that moment, right? So I was putting out music for so long, and I didn't tell anybody this, but 6 months ago I had quit. And I kind of just wanted to move forward with the rest of my life because music brought me beautiful things in life, but also put me in very bad positions in life, financially, stability, everything. I was kind of bouncing around from state to state, just trying to make it as an artist. There's it's a struggle. I had gave it up 6 months ago. I didn't announce it to the world. I just got my real estate license, and I was like, this is what I'm going to do for the next part of my life. I was miserable, absolutely miserable, but I understood. I was like, you got to grow up, man. You got to move forward with your life.
Yeah.
So the whole thing, how it kind of came about, even the Sound of War, is 6 months later, I was always passionate about the Palestinian movement. So when it all came about, I was so angry and I just wanted to put something out. And this was at the time where everybody was kind of teetering from, do I speak out? Do I say nothing? Am I going to lose my job? Am I going to get canceled? I didn't care. I said, I'm going to put out this song because you can't cancel somebody who already quit music. So really what it was for me was like, I'm going to put out the song as a big fuck you. I don't care how you feel about me. This is how I feel. I know the truth because I've been following this movement for a very long time, since the days my parents would talk to me about it.
So with the Sound of War, how long did that take? The song to make, produce, lyrics.
I produced it in 13 minutes, and I'll tell you why. I know it sounds crazy, like what the fuck is this guy talking about 13 minutes? My buddy was on a call with his girlfriend right before I started producing, right? And I produced the beat, and then then my buddy looked at me, he was like, how fast did you produce that? And I was like, I started when your wife called. He went back into his voice, into his phone. He's like, I talked to her 13 minutes ago. So I'll always remember that. Oh, wow. So the beat was made in 13 minutes. I'm not even kidding you. And then the production of the whole thing and the lyrics, a day or two.
Okay.
That's about it.
So when did you put that TikTok out before it went viral?
October 10th, and I dropped the song October 11th.
Okay. I also saw that you remixed it with Norhan too as well,
Yes.
right?
So I did an open verse challenge. I did know of Norhan prior to, all of this. We were following each other for some time. So I ended up putting out the open verse, and she had messaged me. She's like, "Hey, I'm going to do something to your open verse." I'm like, "Oh yeah, that's amazing."
But she's a great singer too, by
She's
the way.
a great singer.
If she's hearing it somewhere,
Yeah.
great singer, phenomenal.
Great singer, but even if she was mediocre, I wouldn't have put it out as a remix. I'm going to be honest. She really delivered on it. And the feedback we got from it was crazy. We did a duet, and I put it out on my Instagram.
Okay.
And I think in 1 week I had 2 million views, just a duet. So I was like, wow, people are really pushing for this. So I went ahead and I just put it all out together.
And what is that line, that famous line? I want you to say it.
Free Palestine till it's backwards, mother. Sorry.
No.
Sometimes I get
When you
carried
said it,
away.
you say it with a passion every single time I look at the video. And there's different remixes to it. What's the passion in that? Like,
I was angry. When I made the song, I was angry. I was pissed off. I was just like, okay, I'm literally watching the news, and all they're saying is pro-Hamas, pro-terrorist, pro-this, pro-that. You're not saying pro-Palestinian lives. That's the narrative that we want to push, right? So I was just angered. So my thing was, at first, was in our Arab community, I understand that, we may get backlash because we're representing a very, classy ethnicity and background, and this is how we were brought up, right? And it's crazy to see how we're painted as a whole, which is crazy to me, right? Because we're some of the most peaceful, amazing, well-rounded people you'll ever meet, so I knew I was going to get backlash for what I was saying, right? But my own father told me, when all of the fog subsides, people will rally behind this song. Because no matter how they feel right now, you putting it out, people are going to get angry. And they're going to rally behind those words because people want to say, fuck you. You know what I mean? So, and that's exactly what happened. In the beginning, I'm getting shit. Oh, you should have represented us better. You shouldn't be cussing in your music. Shut the fuck. I don't care. You know what I mean? And now everybody who said that is on their TikTok. Free Palestine till it's backwards, motherfuckers. All of them.
You know what pisses me off too as well is that at first I kept hearing this. I'm Hispanic, right? So I'm just seeing it by outside perspective. Everyone was pro-Israel too because the media was pushing it out.
Of course.
The second half, now it's pro-Palestine. Like you just said, now everyone's trying to support it, which pisses me off. But you know what I like about your religion or your guys' religion? You guys as a whole, you don't have to be from Palestine to support each other, right? Like I've met other people that could be Egyptian, they could be from Nigerian, from Africa, even Hispanics too that are Muslim.
Yeah, well,
right?
here's the thing. I'm Christian, and that's also, but that was a good thing, right? I felt like it's what made it bigger, the song, is that I made sure to wear my cross in everything I did because I was very strategic about everything from the start of the song to the finish to the videos behind it. I made sure to wear the cross as to really stand out in people's eyes, to show people, guys, this isn't a Muslim issue, Christian issue, Jewish issue. This is a humanitarian issue, right? You don't have to be Muslim to stand with a cause for people that are dying in a genocide, right? So I wanted to show, as a Christian man, I stand with my Muslim brothers and sisters. There is no black and white. There's nothing like that. So I really wanted to put a point of emphasis around that I am a Christian Arab man, and I stand with my Muslim brothers and sisters. This is injustice, and the world needs to understand what's going on.
Beautiful said too as well. So also Haney did mention there's an album coming out. You guys are promoting it everywhere. I'm seeing it. I saw, I think, a social media post that I think like a network's also going to promote you guys. I saw you on camera and other people. How's that album about? Like joining together, producing this album. What are we expecting? Shout out Haney too as well, wherever he is.
You're going to expect, it's not, I just said this earlier today, but it's not just an album. It's a call to action, right? And it's going to be a piece of history. And that is the voices for the people that are voiceless right now. We're trying to paint the picture of the injustices, the genocide, not only for Gaza, for Congo, for Sudan, for anything that's been unjust in this world. You know what I mean? And we're not catering just to the Arab community. The Arab community is behind us in this album. So this album is genreless. You can't come to, we were having trouble on distribution today at what we're gonna put as the genre behind this album. There is no genre behind this album because we're catering to everybody, because that's the strategy. We don't want to just go to the Arabs. They're with us, right? They're following us. We want to go after the other ethnicities who may be kind of just not understanding what's going on, or just in the air about it, or just don't care to get involved, right? So you're gonna come to this album and you're gonna get 5 different emotions. There's house music, there's pop music, there's rap music, there's drill music, there's ballad music. I mean, you name it. We want to cater to everybody because that's the goal. It's a one-stop shop album, right? So you're gonna expect some of the best music with a radio sound with the message of Palestine behind it. So yeah.
When would we be expecting that though?
We don't have a solidified date, but we're hoping around February 23rd, 24th, somewhere around there. So yeah, that's what we can expect for it, but it will be next month.
Okay. I'm just going to say this out here, since I think it's been a month and a half since you guys been working on it, right? And you guys been doing it for hours. I text Haney, I'm just like, dude, like what's up? And he's like, I'm going to be in the studio. Come at this time.
Yeah.
All day, all night.
We live there.
And when I'm there, you're there.
Yeah.
And then also, yeah, the same people are there every single time, and there's food there, whatever. But I don't know, it's just like, there's just so much passion behind it too as well. And dude, what you guys are doing is phenomenal.
Thank you.
What you guys are doing is actually phenomenal. Do you think the city of Chicago is actually be very supportive, or
they're already behind it? It's so weird. I mean, we go out so many places and we're already recognized for what it is that we're doing. We haven't even done nothing yet, it feels like, right? There's so many broadcasts and podcasts, and I mean, you name it, that want to be involved with us, and we haven't even done anything. So the word is spreading like wildfire in Chicago. I think Chicago is a hub for up and coming artists. Word spreads fast here is what I noticed. And the support here in the music industry is like nowhere else. I've been to LA, it's cutthroat, backstab, this and that. Everywhere else is kind of everybody's in their own lane. Chicago supports. I noticed that Chicago craves the next up and comer artist, right? Because Chicago loves to be the city that's saying, we bred that artist. That artist came from us. That's big here in Chicago. So I couldn't even imagine another place where I want to be doing this album.
That's insane. Do you think that Chicago could do something different though, with supporting the cause?
It's too early to tell, right? With supporting the cause? No, because there's such a big Arab community here. So I feel, and not even just the Arab community, I feel like everybody's backing us. The world is backing us. You said it at first, everybody was pro other side, but now the internet is about. People are seeing with their own eyes. They're having their own opinions. They're doing their own research. And I mean, yeah, 2 + 2 = 4, brother. You know what I mean?
No, exactly, 100%.
So I think people are doing their own due diligence, and the world is waking up, and we want to capitalize on that. We want to really wake them up. You guys thought you were up? Nah, you ain't up yet. So that's what this album's for. We want to really solidify. We want to stamp our words. We want to get our message across. We want to really create that awareness. So, yeah.
So a part of the call to action, did you call it, what's next after this? Once you put it out, what is next?
The album's actually called The Art of War.
Art of War.
Yeah.
Okay.
Call to Action is my single that's going to be on the album, and also going to be out before the album. We're not too worried about phase 2, because this is all we care about.
So different phases of this.
This is one and done on the album, right? We want to get our point across. We're going to push this, and we're going to make sure it's in the ears of the world, right? So we don't have a focus on the next one because this is our heart. This is everything we're worried about right now. We're not worried about anything else. So when there's freedom and liberation for Palestine, maybe we'll start figuring out the next phases of our life. But right now, this is about Palestine, and we're here, and we're fighting for them, and that's the only thing that is on our mind right now.
Do you think over there in Palestine, do you think the government is doing the correct things? Like for the United States supporting Palestine, you think, what's something different? Let me reword this differently. What is something different that we could do as Americans to support Palestine?
Here's the thing.
From your point of view.
It sucks to live in a world where we, the people, don't have as much to do with our government. I don't think our government speaks for the people. You can see it every day, right? Our people and the Americans, what I have seen so far is people are waking up. You know what I mean? I think people can do some more research, educate themselves a little bit more on what's going on, because you can obviously see for yourself what is happening. Just do a little bit of due diligence is what I ask everybody. Before you come up with an opinion because of what Fox News told you, do your own research. And then you start to put the pieces together yourself, right? I think that's the best thing we can do for America. But keep protesting, keep spreading the word, keep spreading awareness, keep using your social medias, because there's a big injustice happening in this world right now. And there's children in this world that need us. That's what it all comes down to.
So, you know, as you know, there's positive comments all around you right now, but there's also negative too as well. So for those people actually being negative towards what you guys are doing or what you're doing as an individual, how do you deal with that backlash?
I don't. I got too much to worry about a soulless person. I don't care. Because at the end of the day, I got a whole fight on my hands that I'm worried about that's bigger than these little bots commenting or these little fake profiles commenting, because they're too afraid to comment from their real profiles because they understand that the world isn't going to side with you. If you're really about it, if you really standing on business, come to me with your real profile, because 95% is bots. Just bullshit, right? So I don't care. You guys can say whatever the hell it is that you want, but what are you arguing? That you're soulless? What are you trying to be political about? What are you trying to have political arguments about? Israel in 1970? Shut the fuck up. How about that? Because there's children dying, but you want to start including political arguments for what? We just said this earlier. If it was 300 puppies that were getting smashed on the ground, the world would have rough. But no, it's 10,000 Palestinian children, and we don't give a fuck. What's happening? Where's the world?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Eddy, man, I mean, just with the passion you're telling me, I'm soaking this all in too as well. But I know I already asked you to. So with the TikTok song, who do you want to remix it with next?
Oh, we're not remixing it anymore.
No more. That's it.
Moved on from Sound of War. Norhan smashed it. I think that's hard to follow up. We've had a lot of requests, but I'm done. That was my phase one. This is phase two.
This phase two. Okay.
This is my album. This is our album. I'm sorry. This is what we're doing. Is what we're focused on. Sound of War is it opened up the floodgates, and I'm proud of Sound of War. And humbly speaking, Sound of War kind of brought all of us together. So I'm always going to be thankful for that song, because it brought me more than just a purpose. It brought me a family. You know, all the people I've been spending time with, they're my family. I would take a bullet for all of them. You know, so there's nothing that brings people together like brothers and sisters fighting for each other in a war, right? Palestine saved my life because, like I said, 6 months ago, when I had quit music, I felt purposeless. I was depressed. I had nothing going on. I quit music. I lost my identity. I didn't even know who I was anymore because music was who Eddy was. Not a real estate agent or whatever the hell else it was. I felt empty inside. When I put out Sound of War and I seen what it did, it gave me a sense of purpose again. It got me out of bed again. So I'm not thankful about the song. The song's a song, right? I will always be in debt, and I will always fight for Palestine, not only because it's the right thing to do and it's for the cause, because Palestine saved my life. It gave me purpose again. So I'll always forever be in debt, and I'll always fight to the day I die for this cause. So
who are the features and who are the artists too on this album too?
So we got Norhan, of course.
Of course.
We had to get Norhan on it because, you know, everybody's expecting it. We have my brother now, Work Rate from London, who's actually absolutely been killing it.
Work Rate, yeah.
On social media. We got my brother Sammer. Sammer is huge. He made the song I Go to Sleep Every Night Feeling Trauma. I mean, absolutely skyrocketed with that. We got my buddy IML Don. Incredible artist, been viral all over TikTok. I've seen him before I even reached out to him. We got Jaslyn, half Dominican, half Palestinian, 18-year-old girl. She's amazing, incredible vocalist. We have Abe, NYC, a good friend of mine for a long time. Before I actually met any of these people. Abe was living with me in Los Angeles. So I knew what Abe was going to bring to the table. It was actually when I was talking to Hanny about the lineup, about drafting everybody, we kind of did our due diligence and just scouting artists.
Okay.
But I said, I won't do this without Abe. That was the first thing I said. I said, I won't even come out to Chicago unless Abe is coming out to Chicago.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So, because I know what he brings to the table, and he brought it. Look for Abe Little Boy on the album, by the way, and I won't say anything more. Am I missing anybody? I think we got Samia, who's I just met her recently, Chicago native. Amira, who's also a Chicago native. Both incredible artists. I mean, the album's kind of done, and our assistants, Amara and Thad, actually brought them to me. And at the time, honestly, I was like, guys, I don't know, like, hey, I'm already stressed. The album's basically done. I don't know about adding anymore. I sat and I met with them. I was like, okay, they're cool. Doesn't sell me yet, though.
Okay.
And then I heard the music, sold. Put it on the album, you know? So they're incredible and incredible people as well. So, yeah. Then we got, my buddy Lil Freeney from Sudan.
Lil Freeney, yeah.
Lil Freeney just brought that Arab American flavor. And I love that he's from Sudan because we're also fighting for Sudan in this album. All injustices around the world. So we have an incredible lineup. I like to call ourselves like the Arab Avengers. That's because I just dragged
Arab Avengers.
the best of the best, the cream of the crop of the artists that have been speaking up for Palestine. So.
And who was the mastermind behind it that brought it all together? Or who was the executive producer?
I'm the executive producer. But if you're talking about who brought this all together, Hanny. My buddy Hanny. He doesn't like to be in front of the camera too much. He runs away. But that's how you can tell his intention.
Yeah.
Because he's not doing this for any reason but for the kids in Palestine. And that's been his intention from day one. And he's always been a huge advocate behind the scenes. He's put up so much money and funding and fundraisers all for this cause. And he came at me with this idea and I didn't hesitate. And we put it all together. So he is the true mastermind behind all this.
Phenomenal guy. So when you guys were doing this together, how did you guys scout the people that you wanted on the album?
So first thing we did, I told Hanny, I was like, I got an idea. I'm going to put out a post saying, hey guys, we're looking to do a collective album for Palestine, blah, blah, blah. If you want to be a part of this album or you know somebody that could be a part of this album or can contribute, tag their name below. In 2 hours, we had 3,000 comments. In 2 hours.
Wow.
So you can imagine our selection process was crazy.
Yeah.
We had to go through, probably 1,500 artists we went to. And then other people were tagging artists that were kind of just like, bigger with labels. That's not really going to happen, But I'm happy with who we picked. I think we couldn't have picked any better. So that's how it kind of came about.
You guys are a team and a family at the end of the day, too, as well. What I'm seeing right now, you guys are all jokes and giggles, but mean business, too, when it comes to backing up what's going on in Palestine. And, I can say that's great. So moving forward to this, when this album drops, what is going to be, I think I asked you this already, what is going to be the next quote-unquote phase?
I think it's still going to be phase one, but in the sense of this, the album is out.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
We're going to push this to the masses. We're going to set up a tour. We're going to move from city to city. And the main goal is to help change something in Gaza. We want to donate. We want to help rebuild whatever it is that we can do. Our dream is for all of us. Phase two is this album being extremely successful and all of us going to Gaza to bring food and toys and joy and love to the people of, Gaza. So that's, like I said, it's the only thing we're focused on.
So when you guys go on tour, you just reminded me too on tour. When is that going to be and how is that going to work out? So who's going to go?
Yeah, it's going to go. It's definitely going to do well. I think we're going to put out this album and we're going to let it do its thing maybe for a couple to a few months. We're really going to, create some excitement behind it because we need excitement behind it. That's the only way we're going to generate funds and everything for
good marketing too as well.
Yeah, great marketing. So we want to do that for a few months. So I can't give a solidified date on a tour, but the tour is coming. Okay. But we're going to start with probably a 6-7 city tour, US, then go from there. It's also going to be some practice for some artists. Some of these artists aren't, haven't been doing concerts, but they're incredible. I know they can do it. Yeah. But we want to kind of just dip our feet in the water, you know? started off correctly. We're going to make mistakes, you know? We're always going to make mistakes as artists starting up because we're doing this by ourselves. It's not labels. It's not anybody. We're doing this ourselves.
Right.
This is our label, our thing. We want to control it. We don't want anybody else's hands in anything that we're doing because we started this together. So, yeah, we're going to start with the 6-7 city tour: Chicago, Detroit, Los Angeles, Houston, maybe Atlanta, maybe somewhere in Florida, New York, New Jersey type of thing. So we'll figure that out when the time comes.
I just want to know, you know, you guys are going to go global, right?
That's
It's a fact. That's not, I'm not just saying
appreciate it, man. Thank you.
And when you guys go global, you guys are going to make real noise. Maybe this is a question just to ask. Who is someone you would want to see on the album? Like A-list celebrity. Yeah.
Honestly, nobody. I like my family, the people who put this album together. It's not a hate thing. There's a lot of artists that I absolutely love that have been speaking up for the movement. Kalani, Macklemore, they're great. I'm so thankful for them. But I love what we created, and I wouldn't have it any other way, and I wouldn't exchange these memories that I've had with this group of people for the rest of my life. So,
you said you were depressed when you were coming, you know, before this whole thing.
Depression right away. Yes. Go ahead.
You said depression right away. How was that like the dark moments? How did you cope with that? What did you do?
Oh God,
What was that room like? Looking at the four walls, knowing that you're gonna end up nowhere.
That's exactly what it was. You kind of took the words out of my mouth. When you're going through that, you lose your identity and everything. I also lost my girlfriend at the time. So she kind of walked out on me. It was just, I was a struggling artist, you know? And I was trying, man. I was trying so hard. Nothing was working out. Everything just kind of fell apart. But
you lost her because of music, or you lost her?
No, I wouldn't say that. It's just because I was a little unstable, you know? I was just trying to figure it out still. I didn't want to give up music, but music at the time wasn't really paying the bills. So I went to real estate, and I kind of did that to make everybody else around me happy, to stop complaining about, music's not really doing it for you. You know what I mean?
The hate comments, those little side comments.
Of course.
Yeah.
So it was just like, man, it was really difficult on me. I spent a lot of time in my room looking at four walls for a few months. Lost everything and just lost my identity. It's hard to crawl out of, but at the end of the day, you have to understand nobody's going to reach out their hand and pull you out.
No one's going to save you, man.
Nobody's going to save you.
As a man, no?
You got to pull yourself out. As a man, you have to pull yourself out. You got to figure it out.
And this was in your late 20s too, right?
This was just 6 months ago.
6 months. I lost my girlfriend 8 months ago.
Yeah.
Of 3 years, dude.
Fucking bitches. No.
How about that? But
Oh, shit. How could you leave him? How could you do that? He's doing podcasts with me now. We did it. We made it. What are you guys doing? Nothing. I don't care if they see that, by the way.
No. Yeah. So,
go ahead.
Okay.
Okay.
But getting out of that little hole. Well, how was that? Like, dude, like that takes balls.
Man, I've always been, if one thing I am, it's resilient, right? But all in all, I felt like everything, I could say all these things about myself, but I truly just feel like everything was God's timing, right? And I felt like God, when these things happen in your life, you have that big moment, right? You start to really look at what God's plan was, right? And ever since this happened, I swear to God, I always feel like God's right here telling me, go here, don't do that, stay away from that, go this way. He's always directing me. I always feel him by me, right?
Were you a big religious guy before, or?
No, I mean, religious, yes, but I'm not gonna say I was in church every Sunday, you know, but I feel him more now than ever. And you just understand when it comes to a point like this, God was just preparing you for a bigger moment in life. I think he knew how amazing I was, how good I was at what it is that I did, right? And he wanted me to struggle because to me, I feel like he's saying, you don't understand the struggles you're about to go through. I was just preparing you for it. So now, when it comes to this cause, not every artist can handle the heat.
The pressure, yeah.
Right? Because you have half the world saying, oh, you're this, you're that, you terrorist music, that. Not everybody can handle that. And even this album, right? I felt like, humbly speaking, if it was anybody else executive producing, they wouldn't have done it the right way. Because I've been through so much to understand what it is that we had to do by coming up with a strategy. Hey guys, let's go after the masses. Let's make radio music. Let's make people's foot tap with the message of Palestine, right? So all these things just got me prepared mentally. And you finally see it when it happens, why you struggled for so long. It's for these bigger moments.
And before you met the community you are with now, the family, did you have any supportive friends that stayed loyal to you when you lost it all?
Yeah, my buddy Batata that was on the song with me. It's funny, on the Sound of War with me, right?
There you go.
It was crazy because it's like I felt like me and him, we've been through hell together for 8 years, but we always stuck by each other. Never once did we turn our backs on each other, and it felt only right that it was him next to me on this song, and we did it together. So yeah, I've had, my family was always in my corner, right? But in terms of friends, that guy was always next to me. So it was only felt right that me and him did it together when the time came.
Eddy, man, I don't want to take more of your time, and I feel like we got straight to the point and talked to every topic that we should have and could have. And shout out Exotic Diamonds, Hove, Hani Norhan, wherever she is. But thank you, Eddy, for your story. Thank you, Eddy, for expressing yourself and being very vocal and vulnerable on, with me and with everyone else that's going to watch this. So that's it.
Man, I appreciate your time, and I appreciate you guys coming in and being with us for this cause and, shining some light on it. So we always appreciate every last one of you guys.
Okay. Remember, go check out Mo Mula podcast. Going to drop out too. And this is probably going to drop on in a couple of days. So stay tuned with that.